Wow, that accelerated so quickly. I think in about like 15 minutes, it went from Fabrizio Romano tweeting about Woltemade getting very close to a here we go. And I'm sure you Newcastle fans are absolutely ecstatic. And I am ecstatic because he's a guy, if you remember a couple weeks ago, I made a video on about strikers who Newcastle United could sign. And Nick Woltemade was one of them I talked about, if you do remember. Put in the comments because I was one of the guys advocating for Woltemade. He's a young 23-year-old and he has so many strings to his bow. But before we get onto this deal and talk about it, if you are new here, please hit the subscribe and smash that like button. I mean, it is brilliant news for Newcastle United. A striker is coming. There's nobody coming to hijack you. This one was special, you know, because Craig Hope, he put out a tweet. He was like, you know what, Woltemade, there's been secret talks, very secret, almost like an FBI film type thing between Newcastle United and Stuttgart for him. Nobody knew about it. Everybody was sort of like, oh, this one might not be true. Then every single person started reporting it. And the latest thing we've got from Fabrizio Romano, as I read it out now, is Nico Woltemade to Newcastle. Here we go. Agreement in place after official bid accepted. Fee over 80 million euros plus add-ons. Medical in England in the next 24 hours with travel being arranged right now. Bang. So quick. And I know a lot of Liverpool fans are going to be on this video saying he's like this, he's like that. I don't know about that. I'm just here to talk about Woltemade and Newcastle United and what this means and what a player he is, because I feel like he has really, really good attributes. In fact, I was sort of doing my research and I saw him have similar data sets. Yes, similar data sets to a certain Kylian Mbappe. And I'm not saying he's Kylian Mbappe level, but when you're looking at the conversion rate, he's got a better conversion rate than Kylian Mbappe. Looking at joules, he's equal on joules. He's equal on shots taken. He's equal on sort of assist and that sort of his game as well. He is going bar for bar with Kylian Mbappe in certain attributes. And if that doesn't excite you, I don't know what will, because as somebody who is around 6'5", he is really nifty. Genuinely really nifty. He can receive the ball into his feet. He can do runs in behind as well. He can be a box presence. He has so many strings to his bow. And you know, I'm sort of looking at the striker market, and there was names like Woltemade, Samu, and Sesko. But Woltemade would probably make a better impact in Newcastle United than Benjamin Sesko. And I'm looking at Benjamin Sesko's debut against Grimsby. It wasn't impressive, and I think he'll come good. But in terms of more likely to sort of do well in Newcastle United, I'm going for Woltemade. He's a player you can play a ball in over the top into his chest, and he'll take it down and play. He genuinely will take it down and play. He suits that crash bang wallop football that Newcastle United tried to do at St. James's Park. I'm telling you that for sure. And if I'm looking at his FBref model, I haven't got it on the screen, but some of these stats is incredible. You know, top 32% for aerial duels won, top 21% for non-penalty goals. We're looking at, you know, expected goals and expected assists. He's in the top 6% for centre forwards. Passes completed, top 16%. Successful take-ons for centre forwards for 6'5". He's in the top 5% for successful take-ons. I'm even tripping over my words because that is very impressive for a big guy like him to be so good at taking on players. It's really good. Not even Alexander Isak has the same sort of metrics in terms of successful take-ons. You know, I think they're close to each other. I haven't looked at Isak's in detail, but it's very impressive. I think he scored 17 goals or so in the Bundesliga last season. His rise is incredible. It genuinely is incredible. Where he's just come onto the scene. He's made his international JB for Germany. He's been of interest to the likes of Bayern Munich. And this is where you know he's a top player. If Bayern Munich want you as a centre forward, you're a good player. You're a very, very good player. I don't know any sort of player in which Bayern Munich wanted to sign in the centre forward position and it hasn't worked. I'm thinking about all the strikers that they've got. Lewandowski from another Bundesliga club. They weren't interested in Sesko. They were interested in Woltemade. So that tells you a lot about how highly they rank this guy. They've got Harry Kane currently. So in terms of the striker department, Bayern Munich know how to scout these players. So Woltemade is Bayern certified, Bayern scouting team certified. And to be of that ilk, to be Bayern certified, you got to be a very, very special player. And I think he's going to do really, really well straight off the bat, because we are thinking of now Anthony Gordon and his sort of red card. Who's going to step up and be centre forward? I think they'll manage to get this done, maybe, for Leeds. I'm not sure. I think, the registration's at 12. It will be right on the line to get Woltemade done before the game against Leeds United. I think it's more likely after the international break he'll get his first minute. But in any case, long term, Woltemade is going to be another very, very good player. 18 million euros is a lot now, but he's one of those players where you can be like, he could justify that price tag. He can make an impact now. That is the sort of player we're dealing with. Physically, mentally as well, profile as well. He wants this challenge. He wants to come to Newcastle United, because how many times, Newcastle fans, have you this summer felt a player doesn't want to come to you? Strand Larsen today wanted to come to Newcastle United, and it does make me think, does Strand Larsen come in with a Woltemade? Is it Wissa and a Woltemade? Is it Woltemade and an Isak? I don't really want to talk about this video. It really begs the question, but I'm excited to see what Newcastle United do, and it also allows me to talk a bit about the Champions League draw. I wish I could kind of get it up now, but I like the teams that Newcastle United are facing. Barcelona coming to St. James's Park is special. Lamine Yamal 1v1 against Lewis Hall. That is what we want to be seeing. I think Lewis Hall might actually, take him to the cleaners. Livramento up against Rafinha is going to be a phenomenal battle. Big Dan Burn on UCL nights. What a player he is. Honestly, Dan Burn has got to be one of my favourite players. I really just love the way he attacks the game, the way he wants to play, the intensity he plays with. There's something about having a player who supports the club as well. You can see the passion in their performance. And there was actually a thing after the Liverpool game, and I'm sure Woltemade would have been looking at that Liverpool game, watching that game, and sort of seeing, these guys are good. I could see myself on the end of these chances. I could see myself linking the play here. I could see myself enjoying this St. James's Park atmosphere. You can feel that Woltemade was watching that with a lot of positives coming off the back of it. And rightly so. You're looking at Bruno Guimaraes, someone that can feed him. You're looking at, off the right, Elanga, the pace. He's not the slowest Woltemade, but having that pace around him, the dynamism around him, Jacob Ramsey, is just going to take him to that next level. I'm just so happy for you Newcastle fans, because he's a player I really, really like. And of course, another team in the draw I want to talk about is PSG, Leverkusen as well. There's some delicious ties. And I think I saw Marseille in there too. There's some really, really good ties. Genuinely some really good ties. And I think Newcastle United will get quite a lot of points. I think Newcastle United will sort of spring a couple of surprises as well. I can genuinely see them beating Barcelona, with their high line, with their wingers, Gordon, with Woltemade linking the play. I feel like some of these matchups make sense. PSG as well play quite a high line. I think these teams that they've drawn, although they're big, the way they operate their systems is going to suit the high energy, high intensity that Newcastle United like to play football at. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on Woltemade. I think it's a phenomenal signing. I want to do a greater, more in-depth breakdown of him hopefully soon. But he's coming to the tune. Here we go. What a signing.